Hey guys, Sebbies was back and I'm bringing to you another Loc Community meeting. Today's video we will be talking about Dreadlock Community Etiquette on YouTube. Let's get to it. Alright, so yes, I was thinking about how I chop it up with certain people on YouTube and how I feel about the way that I chop it up with certain people. And you know, I hate banal, unoriginal, stale, repetitive, rote things. I hate them. I hate having to do something just because people do it or if that's what is expected. Like, I feel like it stifles my own creativity, my own sense of self-expression. So I got to thinking about how I, as a dude, communicate with other dudes on YouTube who have dreadlocks, especially like if they're given an update, like the diction that I use, the adjectives that I use to describe. So my question to you guys is, are we limited as dudes in how we talk to other dudes? Are we limited to certain words like dope or fire or bro, right? I feel like those are like the acceptable words, like your locks look dope or that style is fire, right? You know, things like that. The reason I ask this is because it just seems like so many people in this day and age carry so many homophobic tendencies. You know, everybody's like worried about what somebody might be trying to do to them, or you know, and it's like it's not even that deep. Like I just want to pay a compliment to your locks, you know, like it's no statement about how I feel about you or don't feel about you. I mean, I'm speaking about how I feel where you're concerned. I'm talking about your locks and I like your locks and I just want to say, you know, you have nice locks, but can you not say that as a dude that, hey, you have nice locks or your locks look good? Like, I feel like you can't really say as a dude to another dude, yeah, your locks look good. I feel awkward even just saying that. Your locks look good, you know? It's like, I feel worried about how I'm going to be received or even how I'm going to be seen because that's just the world that we live in now. And it's interesting because it's interesting and sad, I think. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't get to really express how I truly feel about what I'm seeing, and I don't get to really express myself the way I want to express myself because I'm limited in the adjectives that I can use. But then I was thinking about women. They use girl and sis and all that, and it just seems like the women, like they're tighter, right? I mean, you can go to like Natural Nirvana's page and just the support and love that's shown her from her sister, if you will. It's just really beautiful. I think it's all a part of the culture. One, you know, maybe African American culture or a lot of minority cultures, but also even in just, it's all built into society. You know, men are supposed to behave in a certain way, women are supposed to behave in a certain way, and quite honestly, I'm sick of it. I think it's just kind of ridiculous, you know. I had this back and forth with I think it was Tristan, one of my subscribers. He's a Sebbie, and we were talking about men who want dreadlock extensions, and he's not a proponent of that. And I'm like, why does it matter if it's a guy or a girl? You know, if your issue is with the person not having extensions, then what does it matter that it's a guy or a girl asking? And my thing is like, okay, clearly that's not the issue. Clearly the issue is that this guy is a guy and he's supposed to be in this box, and this box does not include you having the right to ask for extensions. So yeah, you're out of order. I just think all these divisions, you know, people being forced into these categories and into these boxes, and then all the stress that comes on these people for trying to maintain those images, you know, it's just, it makes life so much harder. And I think that as quiet as it's kept, nobody really is who they're pretending to be. I mean, and it's so funny because the society that promotes all of this, if you look at the individual participants, blind and maybe willing participants still in this beast that has been created from generation to generation that continues to pass on to the next successive generations, like no one is really the way that the ideal boxed person is supposed to be. That's the funny part. It's like everybody knows it, but no one really says anything or no one really admits it, you know, everyone just continues trying to put up that facade. So yeah, the ladies, getting back to the topic, the ladies, you know, I love the camaraderie and the sense of connectedness and the support that women have within the Dreadlock community, especially on YouTube. It's beautiful. I think the dudes, the fellas, could learn a lot from how the women interact. And not saying that dudes need to be all mushy and stuff, but you know, you can act like brothers. I think you can act like bros, you know. But then there was also another interesting question that I wanted to pose to you guys, and that is, when it's a person of the opposite sex that you're complimenting, say I'm complimenting Natural Nirvana's locks, right? I feel, and I've thought about this before when I have been complimenting her locks in the past. It's like, do I have to? I feel like, you know, I know like she is married, she has children or whatever. So it's like this weird thing where it's like, I feel like, and it's self-imposed, but I feel like I have to be like very careful about how I compliment her so that she doesn't feel like I'm coming on to her. I mean, I think she knows me well enough, virtually anyway, to know that I wouldn't do something like that. But still, I'm still thinking like, I want to make sure that I don't give her the wrong impression so that she feels like I'm being disrespectful as I compliment her locks. And so in that way, I feel somewhat limited in how I can even compliment a female's locks, because we live in a world where people are just, you know, just crude, especially over the internet, and they can be so disrespectful, and they can just say the most outlandish of things. And you know, people hit on people every day. I mean, they cave into their animalistic desires and, you know, lust and all that crap. So yeah, that's something else. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that. Do you alter the way that you communicate with people of the opposite sex, if you're heterosexual, or people of the same sex if you're homosexual, or anyone if you're bisexual, you know, like what I'm saying? Like, do you alter your behavior because you are worried about how what you're saying will be received, and ultimately how you will be perceived as a person? And is there a certain way that we need to be communicating with one another? Should we be factoring in all of those things, or does it not really matter? I think I know what you guys are gonna say. Also, I have one more question. This one is somewhat unrelated to the first topic, but when, say you comment on someone's video, right? And then the host of the channel responds. Is that it? Is it just like one comment, one response, and then that's it? Or is it acceptable to go back and forth until, you know, both of you guys are done? Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can go back and forth with a lot of people if I have time, for sure, especially the people who I've developed good internet relationships with. You know, there's a lot to talk about. But then other people, if I comment, say I comment on their video, they respond, but then they say something that kind of triggers a thought, then, you know, I will reply to their response, and then I don't hear anything back from them. And so I'm like, is there this unspoken rule that, hey, you know, it's really, you should only go one for one, or not? Like, I'm just curious. So, all right, that is it for this Loc community meeting. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting topics for sure. So please drop down below in the comment section, give me your thoughts as always, and please learn to love unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. Sebbies is out.